It's hard to believe. It's been 25 years, but yeah, guys, it's me. It's Brian, if you will, the one you see in the class picture with the A's jacket on, and next to Tina and Levi. Man, it's hard to like I said, it's hard to believe that it's been 25 years since we graduated. Actually, 25 years last month. But I guess for a lot of classes that are celebrating the reunions, 25, 20 years, 30 years. 30 years for us, and 5 years, and that'll go by fast. Hopefully I'll make it for that one. But yeah, it's hard to believe. 25 years. And, I'll say this about you guys. You really accepted me in. Some of you even remembered me from my brief time, the year before in middle school, even for the few months I was there. Because I did recall a couple of times, and even David Masters even mentioned this, that, yeah, I do remember him when I brought up the fact that, hey, I was part of the class in 8th grade, and which was true. Because I remember seeing people like David. I do remember seeing people like Kevin, in class with me. So, yeah, it's still really just, it just really starts to really, I guess you could say, just resonate in a way that, I've been to many schools here in California, but even for the brief period I was there for the few months in 8th grade, in the fall that is, before I went back to California to finish my education at Bret Hart Middle School in Hayward, California. That even after that, when I came back, and I came back because of personal reasons, you guys, even though it took time, you guys accepted me as part of your own. Like, yeah, I had my issues at times, there's no doubt. But you guys looked past that. You guys accepted me as your own, because I think what made our class so different in its presentation was, we all had our different quirks, if you will. We all had our different personalities that we accepted. Whether we were looked at as the leaders of the class, like Gabe and Jama and Tina and Lindsay and Tori Mize and and Randy and Rochelle, and many others. We were all looked at as being in that leadership, position, and in some shape or form. Or some of us were looked at as being kind of, it's just an amalgamation of unpredictability. And I do apologize if I'm kind of trying to think what I'm going to say. It's early right now. It's about 7:56 a.m. while I do this. And I want to do this now because I got to get myself ready, along with my mom, who's still sleeping when I'm doing this, to go out and finish our wedding shopping for my nephew's wedding, which is why, I will not be able to be there. If my nephew's wedding, was maybe the following weekend, the 4th of July weekend, which would be even crazier, then there would be a good chance. And financially, if I could, I'd try to make it as well. But, finances nowadays, are not always, everybody's strong suit. But yeah, like I said, we just gravitated towards each other. And like I said, I was so thankful to God that you guys accepted me in, despite my quirkiness, my weirdness, my unpredictability, if you will. You guys accepted me in. You made me basically one of your own. Obviously I became one of your own because, like a lot of us, let's be honest, we all had moments that, that basically got pinned on us, stuck on us, and that's how we basically kind of create a legacy, within our class, a legacy in OHS. And I know Zach and Andy and all of them remember basically freshman year when I was trying out for basketball. I did something that I'm not gonna say what I did, but pretty much it got me the nickname Nuts. And yeah, and that's and yeah, that's at first I'll admit it was kind of like I don't like it, but over time I'm like, well, you know I brought it on I brought it upon myself because somebody explained to me what I did. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I understood. I brought it upon myself, and I guess that was one way I was able to, I guess you can say, really be integrated into the class. you know, as one of you, basically as part of as what I look at as a family, because that's what we were. We were a family, and I think that's what really differentiates us from any other class, before, that came before us and everything, and even after. Because we, like I said, we were so accepting of each other, no matter our differences. No matter, some of us were known to spend, 20 minutes, 30 minutes before school, and even 20, 30 minutes after school on Smoker's Heel. You know, or or many of us were known to be part of extracurriculums like FBLA, FHA, you name it. It's it's just one of those just we were just, like I said, we were just one of those classes that accepted each other for who we were, and what we were part of, what we enjoyed. Some of us tried to do even more than our fair share. I I mean, I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember times, I think it was in our freshman year or sophomore year or whatever, there were those that were part of the cheer squad and part of the pom pom. I can't remember if it was cheer squad, pom pom. I have to look at this because yes, I still have this on me and everything. It's got a lot of memories here. It's got a lot of memories, and that moment right there, I don't know if you guys can see that. That was probably a moment that, looking back, I wish I would have thought better, but I was just so excited to be part of something. I was like, oh, I can go contribute. So just as we're about to take the picture, I take off to the home economics office and say, okay, I'm gonna go bring in the sign, and that's what I did. So that was kind of stupid on my part, but I was just trying to be a team player, and obviously they appreciated it because they didn't. I don't remember really getting pretty much blasted for it, but just like, hey, we understand. Like, I think I got something like, I was being told, hey, we appreciate your thoughts and everything, but don't do that again, or something like that. So yeah, it's just just so many memories and stuff, and like I said, I was part of FBLA, which I think, I don't know if I was pictured in here or not. I might have been. FBLA was something I just wanted to try out my senior year and see what would happen, and because I think what it was that we both liked small because we both, I think what it was is we both smiled a lot, is what we did. We always were just friendly towards each other and towards our fellow friends and classmates, and just, just, again, just good memories and all that. So, and I just, I just cannot, I just cannot forget about that, ever. Because, to me, that's why I'm always surprised at how long it's been. That it's been so long and everything. Oh, here we go. Here's our teacher. Here's our teachers and everything. Let's see. Who was it that we had? We had... Who was our English teacher? No. So long. She was our senior teachers as well. Senior. Here we go. Might be over here. Trying to see. She didn't take a picture. She didn't take a picture. Yeah, she did. Oh, no, that's Pompon. Oh, there's Miss Johnson. I know she was English. She might have. Whitney Shelton, senior class. Trying to see where she was. So, but yeah, I remember our sophomore year. I think Miss Johnson. I can't really remember. Can't really remember who it was. That was, it was Miss Simpson. I can't remember. So, hold on, guys. Yeah, I have I have 3 of our 4 yearbooks and everything, so. Here we go. Oh, she's in here somewhere. Let's see. Annette Collins, yeah, that's who it is, Annette Collins. Miss Collins, I remember she basically was our sophomore and senior English teacher, I believe. She was our sophomore and English teacher and everything. And I don't see her in here. I wonder if did she retire that year? I'm not really sure. I can't remember, guys. Or did she move on to some? I don't know. But anyway, I remember getting back to what I was saying. I just adjust my seat there. Getting back to what I was saying. I remember one time, our sophomore year, with Miss Collins. And one thing my family always asks me about is, why can you remember certain things? And I think it's just the fact that these are moments that are ingrained into your memory that you could forget and not really truly remember some other things, but there's those certain moments that are ingrained in your memory. And I remember sophomore year and everything. Miss Collins had assigned all of us to do something, do a project, in a team of three, if you will, a team of three or four, mostly three. I think it was a team of three. And she had the list of who we were being teamed up with. And when I walked in, I saw, my name on the list, and I saw who was teamed up with. I asked her, "Is this real?" I didn't ask her if this is real, but I basically asked her something along those lines, and she says, "Oh yeah, they're excited to actually work with you because it was basically a first time deal, and you know, um, who I got teamed up with during this project was Tina and Lindsay." I was like surprised. I was like, "Oh, okay, I can work with them. That's cool." But what's embarrassing, and again, this is what I've talked about the fact that when we go through, when classes have these kind of reunions, you reminisce about some of your fondest memories and some of your most embarrassing moments. And as I mentioned earlier, the way I got my nickname Nuts at school was, an embarrassing moment. When the thing really, stayed with me and pretty much, and I guess you could say ingrained me into the class. Like, yep, he's one of us. you know. Um, but this was kind of an embarrassing moment because I think what happened was the previous night I didn't get that much sleep because I was trying to work on work on the project a little bit, and it was me and Tina and Lindsay's turn that day to go make a presentation, and I almost remember falling asleep right now. I was like right in the middle. I was like on one side was Lindsay, on one side was Tina, and I almost just fell asleep. And I think some of you might remember that too. But yeah, that was not a good moment for me. But it's a moment that it's ingrained because it was an embarrassing moment because I should have did better, But again, a lot of us have these moments that you know we're not proud of, but we'll look back at it and laugh and kind of blush a little bit about because of like, yeah, we could have done better. We could have been better, if you will. um, but yeah, outside of some moments we look back at and are embarrassed about, but laugh at as well because we're like, yeah, we should have known better. We should have done better and everything. But hey, that's what happens when you grow up. You learn and everything. Um, that the thing is, you know, a lot, like I said, a lot of us go through it. A lot of us go through these memories. Not memories, but a lot of us go through these moments that when we look back at them, you know, we look back at them with fondness. We look back at them with with enjoyment, but also embarrassment. But the embarrassment that we can now look back at and laugh off of, and say, yeah, we could have done better. We could have, worked out things a little better, if you will. But that's just how as my mom puts it, God has things intended to be. God has a reason for certain things happening, and for me, God had a reasoning for me to be out here, or be out there, I should say, be part of this class, because being part of this class, like I say, gave me some great friends. I mean, yeah, some of you may have not liked my, personality at times, but over time it grew on you. It really did. And you're like, you know what? He's just one of us. He's just got his own unique personality, like we all do. And I appreciated that. I appreciated that. In fact, I can remember even during my senior year, because they would switch up all classes one semester after the other. Like, okay, you would have these classes this semester, but then this class you have this semester you have these classes and stuff. And I remember basically for both semesters I always started class, with American government. I remember that. And even though we weren't in the same class together, I always remember showing up around the same time and walking into the school with Chris Landis and Tori Mize. And there were always times that when I look back at it, I'm like, man, if there was any time for a yearbook person to come out and take a picture of friends together, just coming into school, something like that, that would have been a moment. Me, Tori, and Chris, you know. But yeah, it's just memories like that always will stick with me and make me happy and appreciate that I was part of this class. Finally getting also to be part of sports, extracurricular activities like football and baseball and for a brief period basketball, if you will, and even track. Just so appreciative and so blessed to have been part of that, and I'll never forget those memories, ever. And again, I know I'm repeating myself here, but that's why it makes me so surprised, so just just flabbergasted that it's been this long. It's been this long. I mean, I'm sure the students still walk in there, and I don't know if they still have that wall with all the senior classes that have that. I wouldn't say wall, but they have that. What is it? That little wall, that little memorial. I wouldn't say memorial, but that little like what is it? Picture thing. That frame picture thing, that poster, that poster thing that you would pull back and see the classes that came before. I don't know if they have that, but if they do, I guarantee you, there's some students that when they look at our senior class picture, they're like, wow, that looks like a group that was probably looked at as one of the more unique, if not together, classes, in the history of the school. And I know that's kind of being very braggish, if you will, but to me it's true. I think we were very together, very together in many, many ways. To me, I look at the fact that even though classes that came before us did some unique things, there was always something about our class that set the standard and did things, on another level. Like if the class of 97 or 98 or even the class of 99, did something, we always had it in our minds to outdo them, and we would take it to that upteenth level, and we did. And to me, that's what I'll always remember too about this class. Always remember the fact that, we always tried to stay a step ahead of the curve when it came to innovation in our school. We always tried to. We always tried to come up with different concepts and everything for ideas when it came to homecoming, king and queen of court, prom, you name it. We always came up with those different scenarios that I think even surprised the teachers and the faculty staff. It really did. And again, that's why I'm always so, fortunate to look back and be blessed and thank the Lord that I was part of this. And it's a class like this that I'm never ever going to forget about. And sorry if my hand hit the mic there. I don't know if any of you guys still have yours, but I still have mine. This was something that I thought was really unique because I had never seen any class before us. I don't think so. I don't think I'd ever seen any class before us. Have not just the diplomas handed to them physically, but to have miniature diplomas that they could stick in their wallets as part of the identification. I've never seen any class before us do that, and I think maybe we were one of the first. And again, that's another reason that's another reason I look back at this classness, I should say, with such fondness. Because of some of the first things that we would be part of. I'll never forget that. As far as what I'm doing now, a lot has changed. I was at, I moved basically 2 years after we graduated. I moved from Oskaloosa to Lawrence, Kansas. Rochelle, Aaron, Jackie, they know this. Zach knows this. I lived in Lawrence, Kansas for a while, for about 7 years. And then I came back here because my grandpa passed on my birthday, and I was out here, in 2006 when he passed, just visiting for my birthday because I wanted to be out here with my family. and at least see him before he would pass. And God had me come out for a reason, because I would also have this vision of his family, just calling to him saying, it's time to go, it's time to come home, it's time to go, and him saying, no, I can't go, and them telling him, it's okay, they're letting you go, And it's so weird that I had that vision in my head, in my dreams, when I was out here, and then not that long after he passed on my birthday. That's what solidified me to come back here in 2007, in November of 2007, on a full-time basis. I've been back to Kansas only once, and that was for my grandma's funeral back in 2014. It was not even a year after I started. It wasn't, well, I shouldn't say it wasn't a year. I mean, I worked. I ended up working, not even a few months into Walmart in Patterson, California, and I had to take a leave because of that. And then I came back, and then I continued working at Walmart up until about September 2020. Was let go for reasons. I'm not going to say, but the reasons that they could have talked to me about at first, and they just didn't. And then after a year of being unemployed, I ended up working at Target. And I worked there for a little over a year, and then they let me go for reasons that didn't make sense, because I was doing my job, and we were busy, but they decided, well, you screwed up here, you're out. And there were other reasons too. I did some, there were some things that I had done in the past that I was improving on, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm doing good, and then all of a sudden I get let go because of an incident that I didn't mean to have happen, because we were busy and I was trying to help the customer. So now I'm still on the verge of looking for another job. Hopefully, maybe I'll get back into Walmart. We don't know. Just got to talk to the right people. Maybe I'll get back in Target. I don't know. There is a grocery outlet being built in Patterson, so there's a good chance I could get there. But outside of that, I've been doing good. I mean, I have my own YouTube channel. I'm sure you've all seen that. And I'm monetizing off that now. I've got like 13, almost close to 14,000 subscribers and everything, so that's pretty good. And so I'm monetizing off of that. I have my own podcast as well, called BW Rosas Discussions, and BW Rosas is my YouTube name as well. So I have my own, but I also have my own podcast that you can listen to on a lot of your audio podcast affiliates that you listen to. And I try to make money there, but it's kind of being reworked again, because things have changed internally with Spotify. So now I've got to build that possibility back up. But otherwise, outside of that, with YouTube, I'm doing good. And then, of course, family-wise, my family's been expanding. Yeah. My niece, who's the oldest out of my niece and nephews, it's gonna be 31 this year, and she has her son, and her oldest child just graduated middle school. He's going into high school this year, and her daughter is going to be 3 this year as well, getting ready for pre-K. So yeah, lots going on there. And then my oldest nephew, as I've mentioned before, here on Facebook, is going to be getting married this weekend, which kind of is the reason I won't be able to be there in person, with you guys to celebrate 25 years. And that's why I'm doing this video. Because like others, like Annie, I think, is not going to be there for reasons as well. And I think, who else? Kelly? I think Kelly and a few others. Yeah, this, this is just a situation to where, this once in a lifetime event for right now, in my opinion, takes precedent. But again, that's why I'm coming out and doing this, because I want to contribute and share my memories in one way or another. I really do. But, outside of that, that's pretty much what's been going on in my life. It's pretty much been going on in my life. But yeah, I wish I could be there, guys. I do miss you guys and everything. I'm glad that we have places like Facebook and Twitter and all that we can, and even maybe video chats that we can communicate with and all that. And hopefully someday, we'll all be together, for a reunion. Maybe it will be the 30th where we all just clam together and, be like, here we are, But only God, as my mom puts it, only God knows what's in our future. So, guys, I miss you. So, in closing, I want to say I miss you guys. I wish I could be there. And I know this went a little longer than it should have, but I just wanted to contribute something and just give my thoughts and memories to you guys and everything. Hope you all have a good time. And as I've mentioned before, Tina, Jennifer, whoever is helping to contribute, if you guys can find a way to, post, our graduation ceremony on our Facebook group page for those of us like me that won't be there to watch, as well as other video, photo memories from 25 years ago. I truly believe a lot of us would appreciate that and be grateful. So I love you guys. I miss you guys, and hope to see you soon. You all take care of yourselves. Have a good time. Be safe. And don't drink too much. Talk to you guys later.